That's why I was over there to begin with, figuring I'd get them coming in and going up. But it's like I saw all you guys over there. It's like, I need to go over there.
Yeah. I don't have like.
Well, she's blonde hair, right?
Yeah. She's got like a little bald on it.
Yeah.
I feel like she may have had some Facebook posts. Maybe. I don't know what it is in the celebrity world. Everybody has to cut up on things. Because
All right, we are reacting to Karen Huger of Real Housewives of Potomac sentencing.
Oh, you got a stick?
Will she get 6 months
Just
or more?
this kind of a.
Come on in if you want me, drop down in the chat. Live reaction outside of the courthouse. This is allowed under the Copyright Disclaimer Act of 1976, allowed for fair use, criticism, commenting, news reporting,
Okay.
she probably expected it.
etc.
Yeah, understood.
If she got jail time,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Welcome, guys.
Glad or not surprised?
So they're not taking it into custody.
Put in the chat what
I
you
would
guys
think,
think Karen is going to get.
Yeah.
Like I said, she makes a whole lot more money than you and me combined.
Not
Yeah, so she was
Man.
These guys that are talking
Yeah.
up like
Yeah.
Karen at
Well,
home.
Give me 90 days to get my affairs in order.
Yeah. Because once you get sentenced and you get jail time, they take you right there.
Yeah.
Just hit the like button.
Dude, if it were you,
Shout out to
we
my
wouldn't even
cutie
got out
mom,
of jail.
Linda
Like,
Gamble.
y'all want to look for me? Look for me upstairs. In the
You'd be in one of those orange
Has it
suits.
been announced?
Yeah, Steve, one of her castmates.
Double check.
Chuck
They're
Brown.
waiting for her to
They
come
were
out.
supposed to run on the way up.
Okay, so they're saying that
She
Fox
did not
5
testify. The only person who
confirmed
testified
1 year.
Besides Karen Wheeler was her husband,
1
Raymond,
year.
who I've got
Hold
tons
on,
of
let
notes,
me
so I'm
do a
not
little
going to read them
research.
here, but I would just kind of paraphrase, just saying that she was a good person, worked hard in recent weeks to try to
Do a little research. Give me
make
1
good
second.
what
Thank you,
happened
Planet
in
Bay.
March of last year.
Hello.
Karen Huger herself
LeBron
told the judge she was sorry, that this was a wake-up call, that she
Okay,
was
hold
going
on.
to try to work hard on her sobriety, attend AA meetings for the rest of her life, and be an advocate for promoting people not to drink and drive. The state had asked for 2 years of incarceration, suspending all but 6 months. But Judge Terrence McGann, he listened and seemed open to the arguments that Ms. Huger's attorney was making, but in the end, basically laid down the law. He blasted the guidelines that the state and the judicial system here are kind of operating under, thinking that the punishment should have been more. They were very careful. Someone at one point was logging on Reddit, so they told everybody, you've got to shut off your phones. I didn't turn mine off. I made sure it was silent. So that's when, as soon as the judge said, I'm not going to follow the state's recommendation, I'll sentence you to 2 years in incarceration, suspending all but 1 year. The state was looking for 6 months in jail. He said, no, it's going to be a year. He said, we've had 4 offenses in the last 17 years. Where we're waiting for the 5th before we actually sentence you to jail time. So as soon as they announced that it was 1 year in jail, I was able to sneak out a text to our producers. But we really stayed there for the rest of the way to see kind of what else was involved. There's something like $2,900 in fines and 5 years of probation. Once she serves a year in jail or prison, they were talking about her serving her time behind bars here in Montgomery County. That after she gets out after 1 year, she'll not be able to drive a car at all for another year. And then when she is allowed, obviously not to drive after drinking alcohol, and that she needs an ear lock device, which is something that her attorney was offering up right away, saying that if they could see it to either have her on home detention or just on probation, that she already was willing to install those interlocking devices and attend regular AA meetings. In terms of like her reaction, not too much. When her husband Ray stood up behind her to offer testimony to the judge, she kind of looked ahead, didn't seem to acknowledge him, and then at one point was wiping away tears, and then did look back at him before
Okay.
he sat down.
Microwave tears.
It was a packed courtroom. There's a very large courtroom here at the circuit courthouse here in Rockville, which a lot of big cases usually have. This was in a smaller courtroom on the 8th floor, but it was packed. The judge allowed people to stand. John McCarthy, the state's attorney, who we'll hopefully hear from at some point, was actually sitting in a folding chair in the center aisle with other
Taking
people.
notes, guys.
So it was a packed courtroom. No real audible reaction when the judge, harshly sentenced Karen Huger to 1 year in jail, and she didn't really react either. Steve and I had a chance, as I was walking out here, one of the jurors, a jury found her guilty back in December of driving under the influence of alcohol. She didn't want to go on camera, but said she was actually surprised by this verdict. She told me that was not really expecting the judge to come down as hard as he did. Again, his demeanor throughout, before he started talking, was very casual and cordial. And then he seemed visibly angry. And I have quotes in here. If you give me a second, some of the things that the judge said in imposing the sentence, were really harsh. There's all the details of the sentence. Give me 1 second. He did mention, that there was some talk about her.
Good morning. Come in, click the like button for me.
Accident in March in Potomac, on the fact that she had been mixed anti-anxiety and antidepressive medication.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a quick overview. Karen Huger has been sentenced to 1 year behind bars. It was a 2-year sentence that she was sentenced to, but they are suspending 1 year. Hey, Jay. Hey. Also, for a year after, once she serves her 1 year, then the year after that, she cannot drive, period. So she can't drive a vehicle for 1 year after she's released. She's also on 5 years probation after she's released. They said that there was no visible reaction from Karen. Ray stood up and, I guess put his hand on her back or whatever. And when she turned and looked back at Ray, she was wiping away tears. So it is breaking news. Karen Huger has been sentenced to 1 year. 1 year. Let me unmute and see what this guy is saying. Thank you guys for joining me. We're doing a live reaction of Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger being sentenced for her DUI.
Is going to be, in a sense, a prisoner of the state of Maryland, but serve that, I can only presume, at the jail up in Clarksburg.
You guys continue to listen. She will be in Montgomery City, the jail there, for 1 year. 1 year.
Shit, this was on 2. Totally different channels. Okay. So.
All right, I'm muting it again. They said that the judge told Karen, what were you waiting for? The 5th DUI? So the state had only recommended 6 months, and the judge wasn't having that at all. And he sentenced her to 6 months more than what the state had recommended. But yeah, he laid down the law for Karen Huger and was not impressed at all that this was her 4th DUI. Let's continue to watch. Thank you guys again for joining me. Please hit the like button. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I think they're trying to catch Ray coming out of the courthouse. And I'm not sure if they're going to take Karen into immediate custody. Most times that is the case when you're sentenced. We'll have a quick discussion after this because I'm not sure if Karen was full of herself, but for her to turn down that plea initially is baffling. But again, thank you guys for joining me. Shout out to Jay Taylor in the chat. Jay, I loved you on that live. You would be shocked if she served the entire sentence. Well, you mean as far as an appeal? I'm not even sure if it's appealable, but good point. Or with good time, I believe maybe that's what you're saying. I'll research that because, yeah, if she goes and does everything that's expected of her, it could be a little less. But sad case. I agree, Regina. I agree. I feel bad for her to a certain extent. This was the 4th DUI. All right, let's continue to listen in. The guys that's outside, they don't care for Karen at all. They teased her earlier on in this live and said that she was a little snooty and bougie and all of that. Let's continue.
This is worth its waiting.
Oh, yeah. They're like shirking off in front of the courthouse. No jackery of that was good. Thanks. Well, I'm glad you asked the clarification. Now you know I'm actually a funny guy.
Sad case. Sad case.
Pictures.
Yeah, well, see, we have a few of those too. We use them on our morning show. We do the zip fest. Until they choke 10 times every Friday.
Right there.
I've done that. No, I've done that.
Use it all the time.
They open the back door.
Matter of fact, it's turned on right now.
Right now, everybody's like,
I mean, it makes a big difference. I mean, that's without it, and that's with it. So it makes a big difference now. I notice it the most when I'm looking in here, because, like I said, this eyepiece is not great.
no matter how lonely you get, there will be no jackery in front of the court. Something to throw them off.
All right.
Well, that judge sounded like you. Yeah.
It's crazy, sis. I just found that out the other day. Let me know if you're watching. We are waiting to see if Ray Huger will come out.
I'll tell you one of the worst things about this whole camera is trying to find a decent range on that.
Yes.
All right, so Ray
Yeah,
just said that's
I
what they're
got
waiting
one.
for. We're waiting for Ray to come out. Poor
Our
Ray.
chief photographer got the name of it from a buddy of his. That is by far the best one I've gotten so far.
Come on in. Come on in. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to mute again. And I'll go ahead and give you guys the rundown. Karen Huger has been sentenced to 1 year in prison for her DUI. The judge laid down the law. The state only recommended 6 months, and he said no, 1 year. She was sentenced to 2 years, but one of the two is suspended. Also, once she serves her time of 1 year, she cannot drive a vehicle for an additional year. After that, well, once she's released, she is and will be on 5 years of probation. So the reaction that they said, was shown in court, Karen had none. She didn't break down and sob or anything like that. They said Ray immediately stood up, I believe put his hand on Karen's back. And then when she looked back at Ray, she was wiping away tears. The Grand Dame has been sentenced, guys. 1 year. So we are waiting. It looks like there's some activity. Maybe they see Ray on the inside about to come out. Ray is Karen's husband. and he was there as support. They did not say if her daughter was there. And correct me if I'm wrong, Karen has an older son that is not Ray's child. Can someone let me know? Let me know. But we are doing a live reaction. This is allowed under the Copyright Disclaimer Act of 1976. We are doing our research and comment and criticism. It's terrible. But it's deserved. I'm sorry, guys. There are a lot of us that's been affected by drunk drivers in one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And just because I'm a fan of Karen's, that does not mean that I don't feel like this sentence is deserved. They also said that the judge said, what are we waiting for? Number 5, as far as the DUIs, he said no. He was not going to give her a chance. They did say that Karen said that she definitely has learned her lesson. She did spend 28 days in rehab. She promised to use her voice as an advocate for others and telling them what they should and should not do going forward. Her attorneys wanted her to be on an ankle monitor at home. The judge said no, absolutely not. And look, I appreciate the judge. This is a serious matter. It really, really is. And he did not take what she did lightly. And it should not be. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, Love and Mira Tunstall fans were watching the whole ordeal when it comes to Maurice. All right, we got some people. Hold on. Hey, Prince Peace. Hey, Marine K. Let's see what's going on. Could that be the older son? Who are these people? Who are these people? Uh-oh. Let's go back this way. All right. Welcome. 495 of you watching. Please hit the like button for me. I appreciate you guys. Okay, we cannot hear him. Guy, go up. Fortunately, we can't hear what's being said. Okay, I'll change it.
See, here we go. Quiet.
All right, I'm sure we're going to get a breakdown from the main reporter that's up. That may be Karen's son. Yes, Relly, 1 year. Welcome to the content creators in the building.
So it is disappointing. It is sad. So next week, stay to team.
All right, stay with us. I'm sure we'll have an account shortly. Orliski, welcome, sis. Welcome. Live reaction. Good morning to each and every one of you. I have no idea, Jam. Somebody on the scene. We don't know. We're watching like you guys. There's hecklers. Man. I'll mute real quick. The state recommended, Karen, the state recommended 6 months, and the judge sentenced her to 1 year. Well, her sentence was 2 years. She has to serve time for 1 year, and the other year has been suspended. So don't be confused. She has to spend 1 year in the clinker, 5 years probation, and once she served her 1 year, she cannot drive a vehicle for 1 year. A reckless mistake. The grand dame is going to be behind bars. CC, we'll talk shortly. All right, let me unmute. We're live reacting.
Yeah.
Take a listen. Take a listen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Is it possible to have you walk up to the lecture? Are these people anybody?
They're all
They said Ray is still inside. I'm not sure who this guy is.
Yeah.
Let's listen live.
We'll start with you and then ask her, okay? All right. Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
All right, we're good.
You good? Yes, sir. Can you say and spell your name?
My name is Roberto Small, ROBERTO SMALL. Alexandria, Virginia.
Take us through what you saw, what it was like, your thoughts today.
Well, we got there a little late after it started, and the crazy thing is there was a sign posted outside of the courthouse or the courtroom saying that this court you couldn't come in unless you had access or permissions. But we still went in, and her attorney was trying his best to advocate for Karen in the best way he could, and then the prosecutor came on and said she had to say. And we kind of feel like the judge just had his mind made up, pretty much for a while now. He was really relentless in kind of how he spelled it out.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. 1 second. You agree with that?
He had some documents. It was typed page after page. He's reading, he's giving his opinion, he's explaining, this issue, that issue, why it doesn't make any sense to forego jail time, all those things. So
As he should have.
I don't know.
The only thing he had wrong
Exactly.
is he said that she drove a Mazda and not a Maserati.
Oh, wow. Okay. Big
What do
deal.
you think of the sentence?
Big deal.
The state was even asking for 6 months, and he gave her a year.
Well, we thought it was fair. It was a little shocking. I think coming here, we could have thought, she'll just get house arrest, be something kind of like a slap on the wrist. So hearing 2 years, 1 year mixture is kind of like jarring. And I still think, obviously, I'm sure she is, but it was still more than fair.
This guy thinks it's fair. I'm not sure who he
I was just
is.
saying, I think it's fair, but it's also important that it wasn't just a slap on the wrist, because even though the judge mentioned we're not here to talk about her celebrity and all those things, that plays a part in it. And so they talked about accountability. So this is, her feet to the fire, being held accountable for the things that have happened. That the judge was not here to play today. He definitely took into account the things in the past, some stuff that has come out recently. So
Exactly,
again,
Gia. Exactly.
we think it was fair. We really do.
I think it was fair as well.
Luckily, no one got hurt in this instance. But at this point, how many more times will there be before?
Yeah. Serious.
Your name is?
Randy Phillips, BRANDI Phillips, PHILLIPS.
We will find out.
Fair enough to call you fans of the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Fans of
Very
the
much.
show.
Thank
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if they'll give a
Yeah,
brief.
sure. Yeah.
You look like Jack Nicholson.
Watch it. I can be mean too. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. but
Live
thank you.
reaction. Live reaction covered under the Copyright Disclaimer Act. Let's continue.
I'm Chantel Wright, CHANTELWRIGHT. I've been a housewife fan from the beginning of the tournament. Huge fans of Karen. I got here early, about 30 minutes before the sentencing started. We were able to wait in the lobby upstairs. Karen and family came in, very quiet, understated. We didn't know that they even had shown up to the sentencing. Overall, I was kind of shocked by the judge ordering 2 years, 1 year suspended, 1 year jail time. And we watched as Karen was taken away by the sheriffs to go get booked.
Oh, she was taken away. That's your answer, Patricia.
She definitely, there was times where I definitely saw that she was tearing up. She was wiping her eyes with Kleenex. She gave her statement, but she didn't tear up for that. She was pretty calm and collected.
Wow.
But I think that I don't think they were expecting her to be judged. I was, to be honest, as someone that has children, drug trafficking is very serious, dangerous.
Very serious.
Crime. Obviously, that I don't think she was listen. After the judge mentioned 18 years of these kind of incidences of driving under the influence.
Wow.
Until she got sentenced in December.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Quick recap. They did allow fans or regular everyday people, to join them inside the courtroom. And according to that last lady that just spoke, Karen was led away by the sheriffs. So there was no delay. None. And that lady just mentioned that the judge had no pity. They said over a span of 18 years, Karen had been arrested. This made her 4th DUI. So we'll continue to listen. They're still waiting on Ray. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like that 1 year is fair. Put a 2 if you feel like they should have let Karen go home with an ankle monitor. Let me know. We'll continue to listen. This again is a live reaction that is allowed under the Copyright Disclaimer Act. Quick breakdown for those of you that joined me late. Karen Huger was sentenced to 2 years, with one of those years being suspended. After she's done with her 1 year, after she's served her time, she will have 5 years of probation. And for a year after her release, she cannot drive at all. So again, we are talking about Karen Huger of Real Housewives of Potomac. Somebody said, do we think that they're going to suspend sentencing? I don't. Did Real Housewives of New Jersey continue on when Teresa Giudice was sentenced? Let me know. Okay, I see some 1s. I see some 2s. Prince of Peace said it was fair. She was saved so many times. I agree. Should have been longer though. Ooh, wow, Rhea. Yeah. I don't think so, Tamika. I respect your opinion. But how many times have she had as far as diversion? Programs to me may be needed, but if you're serious about not wanting to go to jail, I don't need a diversion program. So after DUI number 1, Karen should have learned her lesson. After DUI number 2, Karen should have learned her lesson. I think this may be Ray. After 3, after 4, come on now. So yeah, no. Yes, Marine Mom. So it still basically was a slap on the wrist per se, but it was more than what the state recommended. Sis said people don't respect their freedom until it's taken away from them. She's been down this road 4 times. 4. Look at me, I'm being ghetto child. I said 4 times. So yes, it's fair. I agree. All right, guys, let's take a listen. Let me unmute. I'm going to mute again. That is a heckler where you guys keep asking, who is that screaming and yelling? It's just a heckler. So, we have no control over that. A sister. Hey, a sister. Hello. You said one. Let me scroll down. Well, we know that, Lady J. You know what I mean? We definitely know that. And yeah, I think, okay, so Real Housewives of New Jersey did. Yeah, the ratings dipped, but I do think that Real Housewives of Potomac will continue. And I also think, I don't know, you guys think they'll have Robin back? Let me know. I just saw a video of Robin and Giselle. They still do their podcast. And I'm not missing Robin. I'm sorry. Rhea, that's it. That's all. She could have unalived people. So no pity. And I like Karen. I think she's quick-witted, always has a clap back, all of that. But we're talking about life. You know what I mean? What Rhea just said, she could have unalived somebody. We know that watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's what I believe Mel was trying to get into Maurice's head. And we saw how he just didn't care. People should care. Don't wait and care until, God forbid, it happens to you or a family member or something like that. This is serious. I am Queen Tori. I am not sure. If she can appeal. But let's see. Let me take a. Oh, I think I may hear Ray's voice in the background. So we'll see if the cameraman went over. It looks like, I'm trying to look through the glass and everything, child. This is a live reaction. But let's not forget, guys, and I don't know who to blame. I don't know if it was Karen. I don't know if it was her attorney, but Karen turned down a plea deal where she would not have had to serve any time. Where they do that at? Even if my attorney told me, don't accept that plea, I think, I would have had to have a talk with myself and say, this is number 4. The jury, the jurors, the judge, they may not have pity. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that plea. I'll have to look it up. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Well, I just found something on Reddit. They're not saying exactly what the plea deal was, but they're blaming her attorneys. I have to blame the attorneys too, because he or she should have demanded that she take that plea. So yeah, I would have to go through too many links before I get to, let's see, this is from January. Yeah, too many news articles since her plea was denied. I mean, not denied, since she turned it down. And but I'll do some research and I'll put it in the comment section after. Absolutely. But to answer your question, whatever the plea deal was, it did not have any jail time at all. So let's unmute. I'm not sure. Maybe they aren't. I thought in the glass, me just being an inspected gadget child. I thought that I saw somebody, reporter standing up with mics. But we are doing a live reaction. We're also still waiting on Ray Huger to come out. Ray is up in age. You know what I mean? It wasn't any jail time though, Robin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And this judge did not play with Karen Huger. He went above what the state recommended. Hold on, guys. All right. We are still waiting. We'll see if they can catch Ray. And if not, we'll be ending soon. But give me your thoughts. Judges in Texas, 2 times DUI, no jail time. Do you hear me? It was a judge. Gigi Descure, judge in Texas, 2 times DUI, no jail time. Do you hear me? It was a judge. I hear you, but I don't know if I understand. Say that again for me. Welcome, Gigi Descure, I believe. Southern Florida girl. Southern girl, Florida. 4 DUIs. Love Karen, but she deserves to serve time. She could have unalived herself or an innocent person or family. Yes. And just speaking on the seriousness, we know that this happens every day, unfortunately. But I just saw video of an accident in California. And this is my thing. This is personal, my opinion. But it always seemed like the person who caused the crash walks away. And I saw a video based out of California. I believe it was a family of 5 that was unalived just this past weekend. Her poor daughter. Is Karen's daughter still in college? All right, Bravo. Hold on, sis. One second. Bravo says the attorney has to listen to clients' wishes despite their recommendation. Karen thought she was above the law. She was playing games with a bad hand. Excellent comment. Excellent comment. Because for me, Bravo, I don't see any attorney not telling her to take the plea. All right, let's see, who is this coming out? Hold on, let's unmute for a quick second.
Sorry.
Gotta get up there.
Let's take a listen. Live reaction. Press conference. This may be the attorney, guys. This may be the attorney. Live reaction.
Yes, David Martella. Let her know if he wants to take it real quick. Thanks. Hold on a second. You want me to do this?
Yeah. No, that'd be good.
At the end of the proceeding, Karen Huger told me she is at peace with this. She is glad this part of the process is over. She has been working very hard on her recovery for the last few months, and that has allowed her to be the healthiest that she has been in years. And she told me she is fully prepared to get through this, and she will get through this, and she looks forward to a brighter day very soon.
What did you make of the prosecution?
Not authorized to take any questions.
Just that statement.
Just that statement.
Just that statement. All right, real quickly, I'll give you guys a breakdown of what her attorney said. He said that Karen is at peace with the sentencing. She's glad that this part of the process is over. She has been working on her recovery in the past couple months, and she's looking forward to a brighter day. All right, let's see if we have more. What are your thoughts about that?
I'll be right back, Barry. Just gonna give you. All right. Have fun with it. Worst thing ever. You shoot it down out of here.
All right, we will wait. We're still waiting on Ray. I'm sure he'll be coming out not too long after the attorney. Thank you guys again for joining me for this live reaction to Karen Huger being sentenced 1 year in the clinker. If you have not hit the like button for me, please go ahead and hit that like button for me now. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What did I just miss? Jay Taylor. Where's Jay comment? Oh, that was earlier. That's when Jay was saying, hey, everyone, unless you guys are just saying hey to Jay. Give me 1 second. You are welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Let's see. CL said an attorney can only make a recommendation to their client and can only do what the client tells them to. Karen was just so sure that she would not receive any jail time. I can agree with that. Child, not blue eyes, Jenny B. Now, allegedly, we're going to get a little messy. Allegedly, Karen Huger had somebody in that car other than herself that night. That is alleged. And everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only. But we all know, we never saw blue eyes after all the chatter. Gigi, totally agree. Sometimes you'll learn the lesson before you really got to have a dose of reality. You know what I mean? To go from being, is that right, child? To go from being in the position that Karen was in, the leading star of Real Housewives of Potomac, big, beautiful mansion, luxury vehicles. I didn't get the guy really making a big deal that it was a Maserati that Karen wrecked and not a Mazda or whatever. It's like, okay, she wrecked a car. And we did not know the seriousness of Karen's actions from that night, meaning we know that DUI is serious, period. But when the police video was released, when she was in the police car or when she was standing there talking to Ray, Karen was completely out of it. Why do you guys think that? Because you don't even have to be a person of means, meaning money and all of that. Why do you guys think that it is so hard for people to call an Uber or Lyft or a loved one before they jump behind the wheel of a car after drinking? Do you think that they just think that they're okay? Yes, Girlfriend Chronicles. And I believe that the judge thought that as well, that's what Karen believed, and he wasn't having it. He laid down the law, went above and beyond. Okay, Shiriam say they are in denial. Gigi says ego. And depending on the level of drunk, they do not feel it at all. Yeah, false independence. Thank you, Miss Texas, for joining us. Karen kept talking. Ray told her to be quiet. Yes. And it was obvious. just from her speaking, period, and the way that she looked, child. Hold on, guys. That wig has shifted back. You know what I mean? Karen was visibly under the influence. And that's something that's always puzzled me, you know? I think that was Karen's norm. She thought she was too good for an Uber. Look, you can hire a private driver. You guys see that a lot of celebrities, period, A-list through a Z-list, they hopping out of black trucks and everything else. So yeah, maybe not an Uber, but a private driver, period. You know, she was not. It was sad to see. Orlisky, good point. Maybe that's why they've gotten away with it. You know what I'm saying? Made it home safely, and they feel like this time will not be any different. And blaming pills for the last DUI is ridiculous when you had 3 prior to. She blamed a lot, girlfriend. She blamed an SA from college. She said that that's what kept her drinking. Yes, she did say that she was taking pills for, I believe, depression and all of that. And yeah, you know, come on, Karen. Come on. Let me unmute and see what we listen and see if anything.
At least it was a recommendation of the state to sentence Karen Huger to 2 years in prison, suspending all but 6 months. So
Take a
6
listen.
months in jail. The judge said no, 1 year in jail. That when she gets out a year from now, she cannot drive her car for another year.
Take a listen.
For another year after that. And she was to be handed over to the custody of the Department of Corrections right away, leaving the courtroom and going right to jail. She did speak before the sentencing and said that she thanks God that nobody was hurt last March 19th, just before midnight, out on a long lane in Potomac when she had this single car accident, and admits that she has an issue mixing alcohol with prescription drugs for depression and anxiety. But that she has been going to AA meetings and plans to attend AA meetings for the rest of her life. The judge, when he handed down the sentence, said, you still seem to think it's a problem mixing alcohol with your medications, not that you have a drinking problem. And he said, look, in the last 17, 18 years, this is your 4th time you've been charged, at least initially.
4th time.
Jury, in this case, in December, of driving under the influence, and you still don't get it, even though in treatment, outpatient, inpatient, went for 31 days to West Palm Beach earlier this year after she was convicted.
She was in Palm Beach.
DUI charge. That you still don't take this seriously. So the judge said you're going to jail and through on these other restrictions who were driving for a year afterward. Even the folks who were fans of the show who've been watching this tell us they think it's a good sentence. They were just surprised that she got a year in jail.
All right, so I'll give you guys a quick breakdown of what he just said. Karen said that she was mixing alcohol and prescription drugs to deal with, issues. Her parents passing, the essay from college, all of that. She's promised to attend AA meetings for the rest of her life. She may need to look up our legend, Aunt Debbie. The judge, again, laid down the law, let her know this was the 4th time. And when she went away for rehab, in quotation marks, earlier this year, she spent 28 days at a facility in Palm Beach, Florida. And, when that broke, people were saying that was like a resort. They said that she wasn't really getting the full treatment of an average rehab facility. She was out there laid up, child, on beach chairs and all that, allegedly. Let's see. I'm thinking the same thing, Sharon Chung. He ain't coming out there. He knows people are looking. Yeah, we're going to wait just a couple more minutes. And if Ray does not come out, we will end. But I don't know if, maybe they, naturally expected to have some news agencies on site and maybe they did allow Ray to go out another entrance. But we'll see. Let me take this off mute.
Had production on the latest season of Real Housewives.
You talking about the show now, guys. Listen up.
At about the time of her accident last March, she would have sought help sooner. But
Yep.
one of the reasons she didn't seek out and get help prior to her conviction in December was because of production of the show. But she avoided the cameras here today. Before the sentencing, she had told the judge that, I can use my platform, the fact that I have a camera lens, to try to advocate against drinking and driving.
No, ma'am.
How bad it is from her recent re-education about it, but the judge was having none of that. And it was interesting. Some of the show watchers who were here, we spoke to afterward, remarked on how the judge kind of read from a prepared statement. So, yes, he listened to the arguments that Karen Huger's attorney made. Her plea for leniency, they were looking for home detention or probation, and to the state's argument, which had been spelled out in a document last week. But he kind of read from his, it seemed prepared statement before he imposed the sentence. And one of the things he said was that, how many times does it take for someone to get caught drinking and driving before a real sentence is handed down? He blasted the guidelines that the
judge wasn't playing.
Prosecutors were kind of limited to. And one quote that stuck out to me, he said that at the time of her accident last March 19th, she was filled to the gills with alcohol.
Wow.
So he wasn't buying that. It was just the fact that she had mixed a couple of Stella beers with her medications. So pretty interesting goings on here at the Circuit Court in Rockville today.
I'm taking notes. We'll go over what this guy just said. Wow.
You bet. Thank you. All right. So I kind of think this might be it. We got his statement.
Okay.
We got a couple of court watchers. I didn't realize this, but according to Marcus says audio recordings of what's up there are available now. So I would love to spend some time, but I don't know if I'll do record it from one phone to another or right into your camera, but of like her mea culpa, and I'd love the judge. The judge was, kind of blasted her. So I'd love to get, I can use a freeze frame of her over any audio, and I'll find a photo of the judge. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time working on that.
All right.
Let me find out where they want us, because my car's over there. But I'm assuming just stay here. We're here.
All right, I'll give you guys a quick breakdown. We'll give it maybe 3 or 4 more minutes to see if Ray is going to come out. I agree with a lot of you guys in the chat. I believe that they may have let Ray out a different entrance, if that's allowed. You know what I mean? Sometimes the celebrities, in quotation marks, still got to come in and out of the main entrances of these courthouses. But yes, Crystal Hayes. Okay, those of you that's joining me a little late, I'll go ahead and give you the breakdown. Karen Huger was sentenced to 2 years in jail, but one of those years has been suspended. So she has to serve 1 year. She has 5 years of probation once she gets out. Also, when she's released after a year, she cannot drive a vehicle for 1 year. So yes, she has to do a year. Now, someone else mentioned, what about good time? If you're in jail and you do everything right, could she possibly get out sooner? I don't know if that is, a part of her package per se, but possibly, not sure. But what this guy just said is that we were just listening to. The judge said that Karen should have sought out help sooner, meaning, why did you wait until January of 2025 to go to rehab? Excellent point. Why did you wait? Because she was supposed to be sentenced initially in January, and he had a problem with that.
he felt like if she was really serious, she would have went to rehab earlier. This happened, the incident, in March of last year. Her answer to the judge about that was, well, I was in production with the show. Girl, F this show. If the cameras had to follow me while I was in rehab, while the cameras was rolling, it is what it is. Also, he said that Karen told the judge that if given the opportunity, she would be willing to use her platform on Bravo to advocate and educate other people that, had DUI issues and all of that. The judge did not want to hear it. One of the fans that was in the courtroom came out and said this, and I'm not sure of who this guy is that, we're hearing audio from, but they had a problem because the fans said that this judge came out with notes. And this guy that just spoke said that the judge had a prepared statement written down, meaning he didn't care about no final thoughts, your final words, and you're begging the judge. He had already had it down what he was going to do. I've never heard of Stella Beers, but I guess so. But that's what he said. Karen said that she had a couple Stella Beers, and unfortunately, it was mixed with the pills she was taking, and that's what caused that. The judge did not believe that either. And look, this is number 4. This is number 4. So I'm going to say kudos to the judge. Kudos. For instance, we have Girlfriend Chronicles in the chat. Said that she was traumatized as a teenager by a friend who was unalived by a drunk driver. Yeah, now he didn't say my Stella wine child, but he said Stella Beers. Is Stella strong, Sammy? I've never heard of them. Definitely never had it. But that was her excuse. Oh, also, real quickly before we leave, something else that hold on, guys. Something else that was said is the judge told Karen, you were filled to the gills with alcohol. Filled to the gill, meaning no, it wasn't just some beers. Also, the audio from the gentleman, he said that he just learned that the audio of the actual proceeding will be available. So my nosy behind, oh no, now I know what you're talking about. Thank you, Gigi. Wait, hold on. My nosy behind will probably try to see if I can get that audio. That way we will hear what Karen had to say. We will hear what the judge had to say. And he also said that a photo of the judge will be released as well. But thank you to Gigi, and thank you. Okay, we got somebody else. Stella Artois. Now that I see the full name, I've synced it in my Moses voice. I've synced it, but I still haven't had it. If I ever drink a beer, it is Corona, or and it's been years, or no, it hasn't been years. I take that back. New Year's Eve, I had a brew. Bud Light Lime, something like that. All right, let me see if we are listening to anything else. You guys take a listen. Give me one quick second. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button. All right, let's see. All right, guys, let me mute this again. We are at the 1 hour mark. Drop in the comments. Any final thoughts? Thank you, Aunt Debbie, about this. Let's see. That's an expensive beer. Oh, wow. For 6 hours? Oh. In Huntsville? Karen, not in Huntsville? Or are you, Fred? Let me know. 2 Stellas get you right, but not. Well, you know what, BJ? I think that would be personal experience. You know what I mean? One could have somebody, drunk. So I don't want to say, you know what I mean? People have different body weights and everything else. So we would never know the tolerance level of, one, 2 may not get you. You know what I mean? But 1 may get me. I'm a lightweight, child. I'm a lightweight. So 1 very well could have me. And Karen's Huger's like she was. Simone, I have to research this. She was offered a plea deal. I'll see if I can get this, but I'm definitely gonna have to go. But we were waiting for Ray. Let's see if I can find this. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, she tried to also suppress police statements and body cam. You guys know we saw that. But let me see if I can find this old plea deal. All right, maybe this is it. Oh no. We'll discuss. Simone, join me tonight and Cutie Crew members only, and I'll have those details. I can't remember exactly what the initial plea deal was, but she denied it. She said no. And from what I understand, it did not include any type of time. So, Karen had a case of the big head. Same, Crystal Hayes. I cannot feel sorry for her. You guys put unalive in the chat, and you know the wordings that we have to use for YouTube. She only did it because of the backlash. Absolutely, Girlfriend Chronicles. And she waited to the month of her sentencing. No, ma'am. You prioritized you being on Real Housewives of Potomac and filming that versus your real life. She should have been in treatment as soon as this happened, if she was serious about it. If the light bulb would have went off in her head and said, oh my goodness, this is my 4th time. I recognize that I have a problem and I got to get me some help. You know what I mean? She did not do that at all. She did not. So, sometimes we need tough judges. We really, really do. My sis said, with choices come consequences, and this is hers. Because she did not want to lose her job. Yeah. So be true. She prioritized that over her real life. No, ma'am. Even though that reality TV show is a part of her real life, that's still an extra. You know what I mean? Life will go on with or without being on that show. And look at the example that she showed her daughter. And she does have a grown son. You can just keep doing this. And yeah, don't take it serious. No, you cannot do that. And then with her trying to use her platform after the fact, you should have used your platform before. Would have been an excellent storyline if you ask me. All these years that we've seen Karen on Real Housewives of Potomac, let's say she did use, she didn't have to dwell on it, but talk about the 3 at the time that she had before and warning people and advocating and educating, which is what she said. Susan, do you think Ray will go? I don't think Ray will go on Watch What Happens Live. I think Ray is probably going to lay low. You know what I mean? And wait until his wife get off. And again, that's a shame. Ray is up in age. Last couple comments. Marine Mom says she didn't want to face those ladies at the reunion. Right. And, we saw video of Karen, but she was not on that stage. And lastly, according to, if you guys watched, was that when Giselle was just recently? No, that was on a reunion. If I'm not mistaken, this past Saturday or Sunday, or the week that Karen's video was shown. All of the ladies said that Karen always was over the top drunk. Always. So, okay. So it looks like that live stream has ended, guys. I had already taken it down off of my screen, but I'm looking at it now and they are on to bigger things, it looks like. Yes, and he needs his rest. So I will say this, prayers going up. Hopefully, Karen, she really has no choice now. And I'll give those of you that join me later a quick briefing and we're out of here. But hopefully, and she has no choice but to take this serious. You know what I mean? Now, this 1 year, she got a lot of time to think about her actions. And, I do hope that we see Karen on our screens again. I would love to see her come back on Real Housewives of Potomac and do what she promised the judge she would do if he was lenient. Still use it for still use your platform to advocate and educate others. Absolutely prayers going up to Ray, her children, and Karen. You know what I mean? Tough lesson, tough pill to swallow. But quick briefing and we're out of here. Karen was sentenced to 2 years. 1 year was suspended. The sheriffs did lead her out in handcuffs, and she is on her way to serve her time. Once she serves a year, she will be on 5 years probation. Once she serves her year, she cannot drive for another year. I wouldn't want to ever drive again. I will always have me a driver, period. Okay. Yeah. And they said that the judge laid down the law. She was initially, the state recommended the 6 months in jail, and the judge said no and gave her 1 year. And I do believe that she could have got the full 2 years. So she should be, I know she's hurt and all of that, but she should still be grateful to that judge. He could have sentenced her to 2 full years for DUI. All right. But I appreciate you guys for joining me for this impromptu live reaction to Karen Huger of Real Housewives of Potomac. I missed a lot of comments. I did. So if you were an Oileski, again, welcome to the Cutie Crew. If there was something that you wanted me to see in the comment section, drop down in the body of the comment section on the video and let me know your thoughts. Anything break before, whenever I decide to take my lunch, I may come back. If there's anything else that's released on online, we may come back for another quick power hour. But if I don't, Cutie Crew, I will see you guys this evening for our live Cutie Crew members only. I'll see you guys this evening. But thank you guys again for joining me. If you did not hit the like button on your way in, please go ahead, hit the like button on your way out. As I mentioned earlier, everything that I discuss are my own personal opinions for entertainment purposes only, and everything is alleged. The video that we reviewed and recapped and watched live, our reaction, is allowed under the Copyright Disclaimer Act of 1976. All right, guys, I am out of here, and I'm going to play my little new outro. I will Chat with you guys soon. Bye.
Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with QT. With QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with QT.